Sorry, we're closed.
All right, guys. Another episode. Sorry, we're closed. Diving right into football, Sean.
We're diving right in.
Right into college football. Thoughts on the Clemson-Georgia game?
The outstanding thought in my head is that Clemson only scored 3 points?
3 points. 10-3 is the final.
10-3. That was the big outstanding because their quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei. Yes.
One hell of a... Did you, by the way, before we dive into the...
No, I know it sounded like I spent some time figuring that out.
No, I wasn't going to ask that, but that's pretty good. Did you see the TikTok where someone made him...
Yes. This is where you're going to be throwing touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't throw any touchdowns.
This is not where you're going to be throwing
touchdowns. Not one
touchdowns.
offensive touchdown by either team.
So I think that is... There's the Clemson defense with Brett Venables. Did you know this? He is the highest paid assistant coach in college football.
I did not know that.
He might make more than Neil Brown. And
Probably
don't even
it.
say it. Of course he should.
We'll get to the West Virginia game.
But he makes millions per year as the defensive coordinator for Clemson. Offered every job you could ever imagine. Just keep staying at Clemson. So their defense is a workhorse. I think the most concerning thing, and I believe that Uiagalelei was supposed to be a big prospect coming in. I don't think he was I don't think they're recruiting 2 stars over there. So the fact that he scored 0 touchdowns on the road, Georgia, not his first start, because he started last year when Trevor Lawrence had COVID. I think the concern is they didn't score any touchdowns.
How old is he?
I want to say this is his sophomore season. Potentially, I'm guessing he's a redshirt freshman because he didn't play a lot last year, and they had that rule where you could play like 4 games and still get redshirted.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of the game. But
I know I was there with you as we ate lobster roll.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
and the game was behind us.
Yeah,
so I know precisely exactly how much of the game you watched.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so me and Sean were on vacation this weekend with our lovely girlfriends, Chelsea.
We had a vacation from our very challenging life.
I know. Guys, if you can get the entrepreneurial life, there are sometimes it sucks, but there are other times it is fantastic.
You will pay the price, no question.
You'll pay the price. There are certain, like for example, on Monday I had to deal with people complaining about some guy got thrown out of Green Rock. He was upset about how he got thrown out of Green Rock, et cetera, and they wanted a meeting on Monday on Labor Day. So there are definite downfalls. But
there's upfalls too.
There are plenty upfalls.
There a cornucopia of upfalls, if you will.
Cornucopia of upfalls. T-shirt idea. Cornucopia of upfalls. But, it is interesting to me that there was not one offensive touchdown scored. I think both teams. I don't know if I know you said that Clemson's got this great defensive coordinator. I'm sure they're a good defensive team. And Georgia, historically, at least just from my basic knowledge of SEC football, would imagine they have a good defensive team. But to not score one is interesting. I'm not putting too much onus on it as it is week 1. They played 2 juggernauts.
Yes.
So I still think this guy's probably really fucking good.
Oh, he's definitely a phenomenal quarterback, no question. Because you know that the guy who's behind him ain't a 2-star either.
No, definitely not. No one's a 2-star at that fucking school. But on the opposite end, someone who had, give or take, 0 problems on week 1.
I'm guessing
Roll Tide.
S-A-B-A-N.
Nick Saban.
I don't know if you saw this TikTok. I saw a great thing on Nick Saban yesterday. I actually wrote my daily entrepreneur article.
Ooh.
Oh, shout out to Sean, me.
Can you give shout outs to yourself?
I just did it. It's entrepreneur life. I do whatever the hell I want.
All right.
I was named a top writer on Medium.com for entrepreneurship. So those of you out there who are starting your own business, this show is brought to you by. Anyway, so there was a story about Nick Saban on TikTok, and he said that he had a freshman come into the school, and he got caught at a house party, and some guy was saying, like, mouthing off to him, ends up getting this guy in a chokehold and, like, really, I guess, roughing him up a little bit. And I guess they come in, they break it up, and like whoever, like the RAs report it or something. Nick Saban obviously gets a hold of the information, calls the gentleman into his office, and says, "Hey, man, you just can't go around campus doing this. You can't, you're gonna get in trouble." And he's like, "But I'm not gonna let people mouth off and say those kind of things to me, and let them get away with it and just not do anything about it." And Nick Saban goes, when you leave this school 3 years from now, you're going to leave here a first-round draft pick, and you're going to make $30 million. If the police write that up and give you an assault charge, you're going to be a third-round pick and make $2 million. So is it worth $28 million to you to rough this guy up and not let him get away with it? His response: "You'll never have another problem from me again, Coach." Nick says, "I was wrong." He signed. 3 years later, he was a first-round draft pick and signed for $40 million.
I mean, it's so accurate, and this is why this is why these types of these athletes, when they get into school, they're kids. No matter what division you play at, you're still a kid, and to have a guy like Nick Saban bring you down the right path, and now you're signed for $40 million. I mean, that is as. And I completely get it, especially, people say bad things. I don't know if this gentleman was an African American. I saw the story though. And I could imagine in Tuscaloosa maybe getting some racial slurs thrown your way, not being thrilled about it. But
no comment.
Yeah, but it is. It's what's important here.
Yes.
What's important?
It was a $28 million. Ended up being a $38 million decision.
Yeah, a $38 million decision. That is fucking insane.
What could I say to you right now? Would you let roll off your back for $38 million? Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table. You can say literally anything
all
you want.
Insults on the table.
All insults.
All insults.
And you can combine them. You can say them all if you want.
We can remix insults.
Yep. You can say them to me for the rest of my life. Okay. Wouldn't care at all.
All right. So Nick Saban, he goes to Atlanta where they have their kickoff game, Chick-fil-A kickoff game or something, and they absolutely steamroll the Miami Hurricanes, which is absolutely remarkable. The Miami Hurricanes were 14th in the country.
I thought they were 11th.
Well, this is why I previously brought up ESPN.com so that I could pull these things up. I'm pretty sure they were 14th, and I'm as everybody will soon find out, I'm usually never wrong. So
yeah, he's actually always wrong. But while he's bringing that
I was
up,
correct. They're 14th.
14th. Are they 14th now?
Well, I'm sure they're not now, but they won 44-13. Let's see. I'll pull up the rankings.
I mean, this is Nick Saban. This is Nick Saban football here. And this is why you still talk about how Nick Saban is elite in comparison to Dabo Swinney and these guys.
Are you going to say, hot take, Pat Light says that Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney are not the same tier coach?
I think Dabo Swinney still has some work to do. I think Nick Saban is in a league of his own. The guy is too good at what he does, year in, year out. And Dabo Swinney's had his years. He's beaten up on Nick Saban's teams before, but Nick Saban, year in, year out, reloads that program.
Is there anybody else in Nick Saban's category? Is there anybody else? I mean,
and also we have to take into consideration Dabo played a better team. Georgia's a better team than Miami.
Yes,
but Alabama, there's nothing quite like it right
now.
So
how about this? Quarterback, Alabama, is what I saw on ESPN.com. Quarterback for Alabama. Do you know his name?
No.
Instant Heisman frontrunner after game one. He set a record for most touchdowns because it was Spencer Rattler, quarterback for Oklahoma. That's who everyone was saying was the number one guy. Mm-hmm. Did not have a great week against the Green Wave of Tulane when they won by 5 at home. Oh
yes, they put the Green Wave logo on the field.
How lovely.
Now it's a home game for
Toledo. They also gave them the revenue from the gate.
Tulane, not Toledo.
They also gave them the revenue from the gate.
Oh yeah, they said
was
that.
A nice touch.
Which
probably
exceeded.
Well, let's also point out the fact that somehow they got Oklahoma to schedule an away game at Tulane. West Virginia is just scheduled an away game at Ohio for next year or something like that.
Yeah, charitable deeds. But Saban is in a category of his own at this point in time.
I mean, okay, yeah, I would agree that there's nobody else on that level. I would even go as far as to say that Dabo Swinney is alone at the next tier. I don't think there's anybody else on that level.
No,
I would actually challenge Patrick to name another college football coach.
Neil Brown.
That has never been associated with West Virginia.
Has never been associated with
one other college football coach. I know there's one that you know.
There's plenty that I know. It's just whether or not I can name them off the top of my head. Bobby Bowden Jr.
Bobby Bowden Jr.
Is that a guy?
No, because there is a Bowden, but it's not Bobby Bowden Jr.
There's no. What's the guy's name?
Terry Bowden.
I know, like, there's a different Terry Bowden.
It's Terry Bowden because he coaches ULM.
What's it?
ULM. Hold on.
No, that's not
Rich
what I'm talking about.
Rodriguez.
I don't care about him. I'm not talking about him.
You're saying
Incorrect.
You are sticking to your guns that there's a Bobby Bowden Jr.
There's a guy isn't Bobby Bowden the guy who did Florida State?
Yeah. Yes.
Doesn't he? He has a son, I think, that coaches college football.
He does, and his name is Terry.
But he's at a bigger school than ULM.
No. I believe he used to coach Clemson. We're going to find out right now.
We're gonna find out right now.
Bobby Bowden.
You talking to the mic?
I am
You
talking
keep
to
turning
Mike
away from it.
because I am doing I am pulling
Well,
the
then
show.
look at-
I am
bring
pulling the show along.
the mic-
I am the gears and the gasoline that are taking this. taking
The microphone is movable.
I gathered that information.
Then move it with you. You
Thank you,
idiot.
ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how are you doing? Is this how you like me to operate my microphone, Mr.
Yes.
Microphone Connoisseur?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Suck my ass.
Jeez.
Okay. Let's go to Bobby Bowden. Let me see your children. That's weird.
Where's his children? I thought there was like an SEC guy. I'm picturing someone right now off the top of my head. I wonder who it is. If it's not, because this guy's a very recognizable face. I doubt he's at ULM.
I'm going to hate my life if there's a Bobby Bowden Jr. To be fair, I never... Okay.
Oh, don't
Okay,
start backtracking.
fine. Personal life.
Here we go.
He's a Christian.
Okay, we don't need to know that.
His son, Tommy Bowden,
Is that nickname for
was
Terry?
the head coach at Clemson. Another son, Terry Bowden,
Okay, so bring
was
up Tommy.
the head coach
Bring up
at
Tommy.
Auburn. And his third son, Jeff Bowden, was nobody's ever heard of Jeff Bowden.
No one's heard of
He
Jeff.
was the offensive coordinator
Sorry,
at Florida
Jeff.
State.
Can
Sorry,
you
Jeff.
bring up Tom?
Tommy
I
Bowden?
want to see a picture because I want to see if it's the guy I'm thinking of. No, that's definitely not him.
I've never seen this
Never
person
seen
in my
that
life.
in my life.
Tommy
Bring up-
Bowden,
bring up-
I am pretty sure that Tommy Bowden was the guy who Dabo Sweeney took over for.
Oh, that's great news.
Excellent.
Bring up the other guy. Bring up
Terry Bowden.
Terry. See if this is the guy I'm thinking of.
Terry Bowden, head coach, ULM. Okay, they have a really old-ass picture
That's
of him.
fine, dude. I just need to see a basic photo.
I mean, but it's like there's 4 people in the picture. We won't
Oh,
be able to
okay.
tell who it is.
Well, yeah, I need to know that.
Terry Bowden.
All right, Terry. Can't have dead space here.
Dead space. I'm filling the dead space. Here we are. Okay, Terry Bowden.
I already seen a picture of him.
You
Oh,
can
not
have-
him either. Okay, so this must be a guy that I'm. This is not a Bowden. It must not be a Bowden. Must be a son of someone else, I guess. He's definitely a son of someone. That's for sure. Whoever this is he has a father or had a father. But moving on. I don't need to talk about who this guy is. I'm thinking of.
Let's see if we can think of who this random person is that Patrick's thinking of.
That'd be a fun game. And let's end college football.
Let's
with
end it.
WVU Maryland.
WVU Maryland. Buckle up, folks. Okay. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was a winnable game that we had ample opportunities to win, even with 4 turnovers. We do not. I don't want to say bad things about Jarrett Dagey, our quarterback, because in the off chance that he might hear this, the off chance that he might listen to this and play even worse. But that seemingly is not a possibility. He has maxed out his badness. It is time to try the backups. If we had a respectable quarterback that could do anything beyond 6 yards, we would have beaten Maryland, and we would have had 2-3 more wins last year as well.
You're right.
And I will admit, we are the eyes of Mountaineer Nation. Spent the last 2 years saying that the players are bad, and the eyes are beginning to shift to Neil Brown.
Yeah.
Period.
To be fair, as I am always ahead of the curve, I had my eyes locked in on Neil Brown last year. To be fair.
You did, and I will say that I had some
unacceptable.
skepticism as well.
It is unacceptable to have this quarterback. I don't care if he hears this. I hope he hears it. Everyone, no one sugarcoated.
Don't show up to the game on Saturday.
No one sugarcoated my shitty play when I was in Boston, so I'm not sugarcoating yours.
You suck.
You were terrible. He was a terrible quarterback.
Yes.
He's been the quarterback for 3 years now, and he has no business being on the field.
2 years.
Whatever.
2 plus.
Okay, so 3 years. He has no business being on the field.
I agree.
And
He's
the
not a
fact-
Power
the fact
5
that
quarterback.
He is still the quarterback at this school means that Neil Brown is failing at recruiting. He's failing. There should be a JUCO guy. There should be something else tried. He is failing at. We should never get that Oklahoma guy. That guy sucked. That's how great of a recruiter are you, big guy.
Side note: he just almost won a huge game at Louisiana Tech. I think he did. I think he beat Mississippi State.
Oh man,
as a starting quarterback.
That's great.
Well, Mississippi State, I'd love to beat them.
Yeah, I'd love to be. They're not even that good of a team.
Yeah, but better than Maryland.
At Borderline, just because they're in the SEC.
Duh.
I'm not saying they're a better school.
All right. Well, look, we're not disagreeing
It's
here.
embarrassing what the product that Neil.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that it's happening again.
He's done a phenomenal job with the defense.
Yes.
Defense had their first
That's
quarter.
fine. Defense
whatever.
played well.
We're okay with that. We're okay with that. But it's embarrassing the offensive product.
Is this a one-person problem? Is this a Jarrett Dagey? If you take Jarrett,
it's hard to say because he's so magnified bad.
Yes, he's.
We
very
don't
bad.
know if there are other holes in the offense.
I think
he hasn't even gotten to a chance.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
he
had
can't
some
do
really
anything.
bad wide receivers catching the football.
Yes.
Some really big drops.
Yes.
When you have such a bad quarterback, you can't absolutely under no circumstances can drop the passes that he puts in your breadbasket.
Yes.
Have to catch the football. But last year was embarrassing. I didn't even want to watch West Virginia
Last year
football.
was a disaster.
So it's embarrassing what's going on. He needs to make an adjustment now. If he doesn't, you can't redshirt this 4-star quarterback coming in. He's got to play immediately.
If he's the man.
He's got to play immediately. No, you can't have another year of this. If you put Jared Dagey in the field next year, I want Neil Brown fired immediately.
Jared Dagey needs. He is. He's just not the guy. He's not a Power 5 quarterback.
No, he's not a Power 5 college football player.
No, and I actually found this out. I was doing some digging, and I found out. So he committed out of high school to Bowling Green.
Oh yeah.
His brother, who's the coach at Texas Tech, former quarterback at Texas Tech. Jarrett wanted everything he could do to go play at Texas Tech, and they refused to offer him, not even like a courtesy nod. They refused to offer him. He ended up at Bowling Green, which was his only FCS offer. And from what I read, they said that the reason he ended up at West Virginia was because I believe the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech at the time was Neil Brown, and Neil Brown knows the family, so they brought him in. That was like
family favors.
That was the connection.
Quarterback.
But West Virginia was in such a bad position for quarterbacks that they had to find somebody. Unfortunately, that somebody ended up being Jared Dagey.
Which is fine. I accept
that. Was a full miss.
3 years later, we're still with the same guy.
Cannot
happen.
Okay, I agree. There's no difference. I do not disagree with anything you're saying.
Good. I'm happy you don't disagree because
we
would have a problem.
What do you this week going into a home game against LIU, who is in the Northeast Conference, same conference as Bryant, Central Connecticut State, and Sacred Heart,
and it was Monmouth at one point,
and Monmouth, who is now an elevated powerhouse.
If you guys weren't aware, that's my alma mater.
What do you want to see out of the quarterback situation? Come kickoff 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Morgantown, West Virginia. What do you got?
I'm sending a message immediately. He's not the starter. We're trying someone else, and he needs to get better. I don't care how bad of a product the QB puts on the field. You're not winning us ball games. You're actually losing us ball games.
Okay.
So if the backup is worse than you, he's still doing the same thing by losing us games. You need a kick in the ass. And either you need to figure out how to play your game at the Division I level,
yes,
or you're gone.
I agree.
And we go bring in another guy.
I agree. The time has come.
The time has come.
Was
a year and a half ago.
The time has come.
Yes, okay. The time was a year and a half ago. And if it doesn't make an adjustment soon, Neil Brown, the time has come for you too, my friend. But moving on from college football, we have enough of West Virginia. We had plenty of a discussion on the way back from Ocean City.
We had a lecture conversation.
Yeah, to discuss the nonsense that is West Virginia football.
I did watch the press conference, by the way. Eventually,
that's great. I'm sure he made a bunch of excuses for nonsense.
No, he didn't make any. He actually said that was a very poor decision.
Yeah. What was the poor decision?
The interception.
Oh, okay, good. It was it was a poor decision for him to be out there.
What else?
I don't even blame Jared Dagey anymore. I blame Neil Brown because he shouldn't be out there making decisions. So by default, these are Neil Brown's decisions that he's throwing this ball. That ball into the end back of the end zone.
Neil Brown's fault.
Neil Brown's fault. He made that decision, not Jared Dagey.
What else you got on your sheet? What else you got on your sheet? What else you got on your sheet?
Let's talk. I was going to talk about the Yankees Red Sox. The Yankees are god awful right now. Red Sox had
a week ago you were talking about how hot they were.
They're
oh no, you said they just
started being cold again, and they've continued that cold streak. They lost the series to the Orioles, which is and they just lost 8-0 to the Blue Jays. If the Red Sox, the Red Sox had a tough game yesterday against the Rays, ended up going extra innings, losing 11-10. But the Yankee team, the way they're playing, they keep this streak up, they might not make the playoffs.
Next week we'll be back here talking about how hot they are.
It's baseball. That's
baseball.
But I don't want to talk about baseball today.
We're done.
I want to dive into fantasy football. We got the fantasy football draft tonight.
Okay.
Sean and I have been in the same league. I've been 20 plus now. How many? Do you know exactly how many years you're in?
Well, I think this is the 21st season.
Okay, so maybe I'm not 20. I might be 19 years then. I might be
yeah.
19 years then. And you're 21.
I'm
You've done
21.
every season.
I've been
So
everyone.
Sean and his buddy back in the day started this league.
8th grade.
8th grade for you guys. Okay, so 8th grade. And Sean's now about to be 34.
That's correct.
34. So they've been doing it a long time. And then I got brought in the third year. And our funny enough, our team names, mine's Giants Rule, and I have not. So me and Sean have kept our same names since our own inaugural seasons, and so it's Giants Rule, and each letter is capitalized, lowercase. And Sean, your name?
My name is Duh Mountaineers with a Z at the end, exclamation point, I believe, and again,
I believe we both have 3 exclamation points. I think we both do.
think so, but I thought it changed.
I'm pretty sure. No, I've never changed it. Mine's always 3 exclamation points.
Okay.
So.
Patrick's got the first pick.
I got the first pick.
First pick.
I have never won a championship in this league, or any league for that matter that I know of. This is pretty much the only
One top 3 finish in nearly 2 decades.
One top 3. Okay, one top 3 finish. Just not a good run for me. Not a good run for me. I haven't had a good run yet.
You seem, although it doesn't seem possible in fantasy football, you seem to choke when it matters the most.
Yes, I don't know how.
Great regular season player.
So also a little background is I have one of the best all-time winning records in fantasy football. Luckily, because I do great in the regular season, but then
just absolutely.
You lose, but you only
crumble.
lose one game, so it's not like it's really hurting my all-time record. So it's interesting how my players just always seem to fucking do terrible in the playoffs. But I do have the first pick this year.
Yes.
I can formally announce as of the recording of this that I will be taking Christian McCaffrey at the first overall pick. When you guys are listening to this, Christian McCaffrey will already be a part of Giants Rule and the 2021 season. So I'm very excited about that. Sean, however, has the 14th overall pick. There are 14 teams in the league, which is just
disgrace.
It's not a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
It's frustrating because we have very bad teams.
It makes it hard to have fun in this league.
So this league, again, a little bit of background. We try very hard. First come, first serve on the waiver wire. So you can, like, if a running back for the Chiefs go down, you don't have to wait until Monday where you get a pre-order, etc. It's whoever gets to the guy first, which I like if you pay attention. Luckily, I'm at the bar.
It rewards that. That's the right way to do
which
it.
I'm on board with. But it's a very difficult league with 14 teams, individual defensive players. It's a difficult league, but it can be fun. The only downside, I think, really, is that
you just end up picking up guys that you've
suck.
never heard of. Like you have guys in your last year. I picked up Devontae Freeman, who was a free agent. The reason I picked him up was because he was scheduled to have a tryout with the Giants, and I thought if he made the team, he might get penciled in as an immediate back who has a good workload. It ended up working out for me, which was wonderful. And by working out, I mean a guy who got 12 carries and 40 yards and a sporadic touchdown, which in our league, that's a great RB2.
Great RB2.
Great RB2. And there's just not a lot of RB1s out there.
No.
And when you have a 14-team league, it is very difficult to get that. So the question now is, who am I going to get at 14? I'm thinking that the best case scenario, the absolute best case scenario, is a Travis Kelce.
I don't think you have any chance of getting Travis Kelce.
But here's the thing with Kelce. Here's the best tight end. I think he was
tight end number
no,
one.
He was the
goes
best.
in the first round.
No, not always.
Yes,
not
always.
No,
literally
no,
always.
No,
yes,
no.
they always.
I had Kelce last year.
He was one of the best receivers in the game.
I agree, but I had Kelce last year. He was the undisputed tight end number one. He was not my first pick.
He was not the undisputed number one last year.
Who else was there?
There was who was the I had a great tight end. There was geez.
He must have been excellent.
No, the 49ers tight end George Kittle is phenomenal.
All right, well I'm going to pull it up.
Zach Ertz was up there.
Zach Ertz is good, but he's not competing on that level.
He was competing at that level. When you had Kelsey 2 years ago, I had Ertz. Ertz was the better tight end.
Okay, I don't have the fantasy
Yeah,
football
it's tough
app
to
yet.
bring it all up. But
I don't think they went in the first round. But anyway,
Travis Kelsey, the year he had last year, is going in the first round.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. I'm saying that he's the best case scenario because I think the Tyreek Hills. I think
no chance.
No way. I'm not getting Tyreek Hill. I'm not getting Devontae Adams.
No chance.
I'm not going to get Devontae Adams. Who else is up there for receivers?
Who's the guy from Houston? Is he still good?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Well, probably since he's on the Cardinals now.
Okay. Oh yeah, he did leave.
He's a good player, but he's not what he was with Houston.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be 7 running backs.
I think Travis Kelsey's taken in the top 10 picks. I don't think he even sniffs you. The amount of times he's targeted. The amount of times he's targeted.
It is a joke.
The amount of times, not touchdowns he gets. He's arguably one of the best receivers in football.
It is a joke.
It's a joke.
Well, because
if anyone's
last year
doing any type of research,
I had
he's not.
Of all the pass catchers in the NFL last year, I had 1, 2, and 4 last year.
Yeah,
I had
great receivers.
Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Calvin Ridley.
And Travis Kelsey number 2.
I think so.
And you think he makes it to you?
I'm not saying that. My contention is that the wide tight end doesn't always go in the first round. The best tight end doesn't always go in the first round. And that best case scenario is that a Travis Kelsey comes to me. The best case scenario is unlikely to occur.
I mean, the best case scenario is Christian McCaffrey falls to you.
That is
We're
now
talking unrealistic things.
That is now the best case scenario.
That is the best case scenario.
Okay. Well, then who do you think I'm going to end up with?
I should have done a little bit more research. You know what? Actually, I am going to bring it up.
Pull it up, Patrick.
Because this is worth bringing up here. Because I just don't think that you have much of a chance at Kelsey at all.
No,
but
I don't
should
think-
be bringing up things that back my point.
I think we're going to get 7 running backs off the board. I think we're going to get 2 quarterbacks off the board.
Okay, according to our sheet that we use,
Okay.
Travis Kelsey is 10th.
Okay.
Which goes along with what I'm saying. That I think will get picked in the top 10 picks.
Okay.
It's McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams is the first receiver off the board.
At 5?
At 5.
Wow.
I think that happens in our league. Stephon Diggs.
Great player.
I guess he was great last year. I don't remember him being
Well,
top 6 picks good.
What team is he on now?
Buffalo.
Okay. I thought he got traded for some reason. Well, he had Josh Allen. Josh Allen was redonkulous last year.
He was. I had Josh Allen, my backup quarterback. Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon. Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, then Saquon, which I think Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon in our leagues go earlier.
Saquon, I think is.
I mean,
not. I think
where is Mike Moore drafting?
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to get Saquon.
No. I'm just saying where is he? He's going to get. Mike Moore will reach for him.
Yes, he drafts him every year.
Yeah, just for reference again, because you guys don't know who Mike Moore is. Mike Moore is the guy who started the league with Sean, and he's a huge Penn State fan.
Okay, so what number are we at?
So Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Saquon Barkley are 9. Is 7, 8, 9, and then Travis Kelsey's at 10.
Okay.
And then you got Aaron Jones, Calvin Ridley, Jonathan Taylor, who's an Indianapolis running back, and then they're saying at 14 you get DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't want DeAndre Hopkins. Who's 15?
AJ Brown.
Who
was good.
Titans.
He was good.
Who else is? Give me like the next 10
AJ
picks.
Brown, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler.
Okay, I know him.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yep.
Najee,
Alabama, Roll Tide.
Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, DK Metcalf, Antonio Gibson, Justin Jefferson, etc.
So, well, I like the fact that there's some actually solid running backs at that. My goal is to get 2 guys who can put up the points. So you're looking at a Calvin Ridley, you're looking at a DK Metcalf, you're looking at somebody like that who can put it up. And then in round 3 and 4, because I'll have the snake picks, I think we'll try to do another one of those and a quarterback. Because I need as many guys who are capable of exploding. Because if I don't have, it's going to be hard to find any explosiveness after that.
Well, like I said, I mean, on this sheet you're looking at right now, for one, in this first round, because we know our league better than the sheet knows our league, and we know that Patrick Mahomes is going before 47th pick. That's happening.
47?
No, you don't reach for quarterbacks.
Well, that's true.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray,
yeah,
all
let's
straight in a
list
row.
out the quarterbacks. List out
47, 48, 49. Or Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, first QB, second QB, third QB off the boards.
Kyler Murray third. Then is Rodgers next?
Hold, please. QB 4, Lamar Jackson at 56. QB 5, Dak Prescott. People are down on Aaron Rodgers this year. QB 7, Russell Wilson at 73.
I like Russell Wilson a lot. I could
That's
get
good.
him. Nice.
This is they mistyped here because this should be QB 8, Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay. Ram.
The
Oh,
Dodgers.
Chargers.
Aaron Rodgers, QB 8. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, QB. This should be QB 9.
Okay, so if that's the case,
99.
if that's the case, I'm not taking a quarterback until at least the 5th round.
That's what they tell you to do. They don't tell you to reach for quarterbacks ever.
I just need I'm going to need guys that can explode.
Because you want big guns.
I need big guns, but I need to at 14, I need to take a little bit more of a reach because I'm not going to have a guy like McCaffrey who is like he's a reliable 20-point guy. Like he's going to most of his weeks if he's in good shape, he's going to score 20 points.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have that. I'm going to have pass catchers who are volatile, they're up and down. Unless you had Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, they're Jesus of pass catching. And I'm going to need guys who can blow it up.
I mean, yeah, you're going to need that. And we know Patrick Mahomes going in the first round in our league. It never doesn't happen. At the very earliest second round, very latest second round. He's not going at 48.
I'm going to pull up our draft stuff from last year.
Okay, pull it up because we have, like I said, this sheet who has been given to me by Barstool Smitty. Shout out Barstool Smitty for helping me with this. This was last year. We went off this sheet that he gave me, and I don't know if he does it himself. It looks like it seems a bit too much for him to do himself, but he's also a guy that might. But Smitty gave this to me last year, and me, my brother, and my dad, who draft together, all went off the sheet, and we had by far the best teams in the league. I just got unfortunately hit with injuries last year, but I mean my team was fantastic. So with that being said, this is why we go off this sheet every year. But this sheet again, like I said, quarterbacks are going to go in the first round for us. Maybe
okay,
two.
Here we go. You ready for last year's draft?
Yes, please tell me. You gonna tell us?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. I want to see Kelce was taken in the second round. Second round.
Was he the first tight end off the board?
Julio Devontae. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it was McCaffrey, Barkley, Ezekiel, Kamara, Derrick Henry, Hilaire, Dalvin Cook. So first 7 are running backs.
Okay.
That is standard for our league.
That is standard.
Standard for our league. Then you have Michael Thomas. God rest his soul.
That's who I drafted last year. And if anyone listening had Michael Thomas, you feel my pain on that.
Okay, so look, there's some wiggle room here because we have Michael Thomas, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, Devontae Adams, Julio Jones. Mahomes is still on the board. Mahomes gets picked right after Kelce. Right after Kelce, so second round. According to this, I'll have Josh Jacobs and Julio Jones. That was the snake pick last year at 14.
Julio Jones is trying to see where
he's
Julio
on the Titans now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where Julio Jones is on this list.
And nobody wanted him.
No, which is
too expensive and he's too old. That's what they were saying. I think he's like 34.
He's getting old. Well, we got we're
another quarterback is not going off of the board here. So there is quarterback. Lamar Jackson goes 9th in the second round.
Lamar Jackson
is 9th in the second round. And I see the next quarterback that I see, Cam Akers. Is that a kicker?
Cam Akers? That sounds like a kicker.
No, we're thinking of David Akers. Who's Cam Akers?
Let's Google it.
And why is he going in the third round?
Cam Akers. Let's find out here.
He's a running back. Okay, he's a running back. Anyway,
but
right. The third quarterback off the board here is. Oh, God, I screwed the pooch on this. Was Drew Brees in the 4th round.
Oh, he was terrible.
I picked the third QB off the board. Am I reading this right?
Yeah, I reached for a QB last year, too, didn't I have Mahomes?
You did not get Mahomes.
Who did I get last year?
At quarterback?
Maybe Aaron Rodgers?
A.J. Brown was your 4th. Kareem Hunt was your 5th. Tom Brady was your
Oh,
sixth.
I forgot I had Tom Brady. He was good. He was good for me.
Tommy Tough Nuts.
Tommy Tough Nuts. He was
Tommy
good for
Tough
me.
Nuts.
But with this league, so right now you're looking at.
I'm
so
looking
we're
at a
saying-
good pass catcher.
We're looking at quarterbacks are not a guarantee in the first round. So maybe Mahomes doesn't go in the first round. You're looking at a pass catcher, like you said. I don't think that Travis Kelce off the year he had last year. I mean,
Kelsey was incredible. He's going to go first round.
Yeah, he's going to go first round.
He's better. He's better than you. Miles Sanders, Michael Thomas, because you're gonna have you got a pass catcher at 8, you got a pass catcher at 11, and you got a pass catcher at 13 and 14, and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey are going to be right there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have
PPR too. I mean,
he's the fourth receiver off the board on this list. You have Devontae, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, all before him.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
I mean, those three are studs.
Those are guys. I'm going to be looking at guys like that. Like I'm going to get maybe one of those guys. If one of those guys is on the board when I get there, that's a pretty good
people
deal.
will reach running backs in the first round here.
Yes,
and which is I think a mistake. I think you should be
agree,
getting.
But this is a good running back class with respect to the ones we've had
Yes.
recently.
On top of this, my second pick they're looking at. They are saying that I would get Allen Robinson and Amari Cooper, which would be two solid receivers for me.
Cooper, is he still with Dallas?
Yes.
I've never liked Dak Prescott that much.
I haven't liked him either,
I
but
don't know
Amari
what he
Cooper
gets-
has gotten some good things.
He's a good player.
Allen Robinson, who's the quarterback over in Chicago right now?
Well, they have drafted the guy from Ohio State, but
Yes, they did.
I think they're
Still
slated
go with
to
that
start.
guy?
I think it's Andy Dalton.
Oh, Andy Dalton.
I think he's named QB1 in Chicago.
Interesting.
But they have the Ohio State guy, Justin Fields, I think.
Which could get a quick trigger.
He could be the QB1 already. I don't know. Nobody's moving their franchise around for Andy Dalton.
No, but they also said on this thing, if I wanted him, I could get George Kittle, which I might take him over an Allen Robinson.
George Kittle, be advised, new quarterback in San Francisco as well. Garopp's.
Yes. See what they're saying. George Kittle, they have right now elite talent, but ongoing injury concerns, which I dealt with last year. Rookie QB, lower his fantasy stock.
Yes.
Allen Robinson, similarly. Let's see here. Trade up for dual threat QB. Trade up for dual threat QB foreshadows Bears. Oh, they traded up for the dual threat QB who foreshadows the Bears' pass volume reduction.
I mean, we're seeing the evolution of the running quarterback in the NFL. That's what we're going to start. They're going to start doing that.
Possibly.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it's the evolution.
well,
Mike Vick years ago.
Well, Lamar Jackson, and then Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
Yeah, but I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is a running quarterback. He has the ability to run.
Okay, fair enough. But
Lamar Jackson was amazing year one, a solid QB year two. He wasn't the same guy.
You're saying it's not the dawn of a new day.
I don't think so. I think you got some guys that can run the football right now that can also pass the football, but passing has always taken precedent over running QBs in the game. They've always done so. And I don't think these guys, if they couldn't throw the football, would still be where they are. Like I don't think they're taking. Like Mike Vick was probably the worst throwing. He threw absolute bullets at people. He was the best playmaker, arguably, in the history of NFL. And he's definitely the best playmaker in Madden. There was nobody better.
Lamar Jackson's pretty damn good at Madden.
He's not better than Mike Vick.
Especially with like the older games where
Mike Vick. Mike Vick.
I agree. Mike Vick is the best Madden player of all time.
Of all time.
So
you'd be happy in the sense that we've now gotten a better
I think
sense
if we're gonna say realistic action here, I
who do you
think
you're getting?
I think that I'll end up with like a Calvin Ridley.
Okay. Calvin Ridley, so that's they got him at 12 in this thing.
Okay. I think I'll end up with a Calvin Ridley, and I can see myself ending up with a Stephon Diggs.
You get Calvin Ridley as being the top guy in Atlanta.
I mean, I've had him for at least 2 straight years, and he's been amazing.
Yeah, last year 95, 14, 50, 10.
Yeah, he's
unbelievable.
I mean, he was as reliable as he was a touchdown machine, which makes me nervous because you can't keep doing that, especially now the threat of Julio Jones isn't there anymore. Although Julio was injured a lot last year.
Yeah,
but I think Calvin Ridley is a guy who I'm like not pumped to take, but I think he's a guy that I end up with, and I think that you could see like a Stephon Diggs, a George Kittle. Somebody like he's good, but he's not a killer.
Yeah.
And then, but I could also see myself trying to get one of those running backs too, because when I go away from if I choose to not have a running back. Like last year, I went Kelsey and Tyreek Hill 1 and 2, and I was picking up free agents as my running back. And in this league, if you don't have you have what my strategy has been the last few years is to take anybody with any sort of possible running back goodness. I watched you in college and you broke a couple tackles. Like, I'm taking you. I'm picking you up, and I'm going to stash you on the bench in case. If you're behind Dalvin Cook, I remember I had that guy last year, Albert Madison or something Madison for Minnesota. I think he's actually a good player. But if Dalvin, okay, I see where this is going. But Dalvin Cook, injury-prone guy, not last year, he was amazing, never got hurt once. Dalvin Cook, but I had them on my bench all year because I thought he was a good player, and if he came in the game, he was going to get it.
You got to do that.
And that's what you have to do in this league. You have to stash running backs.
Well, here's a question for you, Sean. Here's a question for you. Let's say you get Calvin Ridley at 14.
Okay.
Okay. According to this list, you have the ability, if this list goes true, accurate, you have the ability, the top 2 running backs let's go top 3, or you can do top 4. There's 4 of them right there. Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb. Are you, even though those according to these people would be less of a pick than an A.J. Brown, a DeAndre Hopkins, Joe Mixon as well. I said Joe Mixon. Would you reach for those guys?
I will look at their numbers and see if they're guys who are.
If you pass, you get 28 picks until
look.
You get
I am a world veteran at finding running backs off of the waiver wire. That is no different. That has been a tradition for me for the last 6 years. So I'm no stranger to that process. So I have no problem doing that. What I need to find is guys who can produce. I can't get a running back who's going to get mostly 6s to 10s and the occasional 18.
Well, that's the thing is if you don't take a running back there, you might not get starting.
I understand that, and that's the game.
RBs.
That is the game that I have played for years. I did that last year.
You had starting running backs.
I probably had starting running back last year.
Yeah, of course. That's sometimes almost anyone gets a starting running back.
Let's bring it up.
I mean, I might not get a second starting running back. Because once I take my first guy, I'm 28 picks for my next pick.
The first running back that I take in 2020 draft is, where's my team? And this guy was a absolute freaking disaster. I took Jordan Howard. This guy was a nightmare to have. Jordan Howard, Miami. He was the starting running back. He sucked my ass. And then the next round, I got Sony Michel. Also sucked my ass.
Sucked his ass, guys.
And at 12, I'm taking Old Man Peterson. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm taking Old Man Peterson.
But you're not the only one in that boat.
No, I'm not. But then 14 comes. Here comes the reaches. Alexander Madison.
Yep.
Demir Bird. I don't even know.
He's not in the league anymore.
Yes. That's what I do. Is my routine. You know me, patented rookie scouting.
Yep.
And I go in and I try to find people who have an NFL skill set and have the opportunity to possibly get reps through injury, through suckiness, whatever it needs to happen. I just want to find somebody who has a shot. If Dalvin Cook got hurt, which I think he did at the end of the year, and I got a game out of him. I think Alexander Madison is a good running back, is a serviceable running back for fantasy football. I need in fantasy in a 14-team league. You have to have those kind of breaks go your way.
No, you need those breaks go away. For you specifically, you need the break of screwing someone over in a trade.
I don't need that break, but it is lovely.
Have you won a championship without screwing someone over? I think we've looked into this. I don't believe you have. Maybe in the beginning.
I don't remember when my first title.
You screw
how
people over
ethically
in
I
trades.
won that.
Listen, are you a good trader? Yeah, I'll give you credit.
I'm a persuader.
Yeah, you bully people into giving you.
I did not bully in the last championship round. He offered it to me. I was offering a completely different trade, and he pulled up.
Idiot he was.
And he pulled out. He's like, "Hey, do you want Tom Brady too?" I'm not gonna not take Tom Brady. And then I knew I was like, everyone's gonna get on my ass for this trade.
It too.
Of course, I'll happily take the insults and the ridicules for the next decade of my life as I sit there with my imaginary ring and a trophy that's way too big for my bookcase in my room and takes up way too much space.
I know I still have that damn trophy, but. Sean's just the most ridiculous trader in the world. He thinks he only allows trades to happen if he's able to screw you over.
I take trades that make me a contender. Period. End of story.
2 years ago, we're going to talk about the trade that me and you discussed. I don't remember which running back it was, but it was some guy who just gotten
yes.
good. He had a few.
It was the guy it was Singletary.
Singletary
For Buffalo. Devin Singletary. Devin, I think.
It might be D Singletary.
D Singletary.
D Singletary. Sean.
I want the promo for this thing to be about D Singletary.
Randy, you
the
heard it
legend
here.
that is D Singletary.
So this guy had maximum to the camera here, maximum 3 good games. And by good games, we're not talking about Christian McCaffrey games. We're talking about your run-of-the-mill
I must say, they were games as of late.
I understand. No, hold on. He had some games that were not so good and mixed in there.
They were as of earlier.
Because he wasn't starting earlier.
I don't remember.
I believe he got a starting job.
I don't think that's the case.
Here's the issue, guys. I, in that particular year, decided to go a bit rogue and draft like 3 or 4 QBs. The QBs no one ever reaches for them. I decided to draft 3 or 4 QBs. You remember the strategy.
It was the most asinine. Guys, this is the most asinine. This is the most asinine strategy I have ever seen in fantasy football for a league that has maybe 3 trades a year.
Yes. So that was an oversight. But it was the first time, in my opinion, that anyone drafted in the attempt to trade. So the 3 trades per year.
There's a reason why no one ever done
it.
The
3 trades per year was irrelevant to me because no one ever attempts. My attempt was to draft 3 premier quarterbacks, which I got. 3 premier quarterbacks, and then use them as trade bait to upgrade my team later in the year. And I did so. And if it wasn't for Sean being a ridiculous human, which I didn't want the trade anyway. I had Drew Brees on my bench, who was a QB1 and probably a top 3 QB in the league at that point. QB1, Sean had a dog shit quarterback. Absolute. I don't remember who it was.
I know who it was.
Who was it?
It was suck-ass Goff.
Suck-ass Goff had a dog shit QB, and I said, listen, Sean is a target for me. He is a playoff contender, probably going to be in the playoffs, and needs an upgrade at the QB position to take his team to the next level. What I told him was I had no interest in his team. He did not have someone good enough to offer me for a premier quarterback in the league.
This is why you've never won a championship, by the way.
No, this is not why you never won
a
championship. I tried this once.
I have 2 titles, and I am...
Yeah, but screwing people over.
I am the authority.
Screwing people over. You're not the authority. You're not the authority.
I'm more of an authority than you are.
There is
in
no
this
authority.
room
We're not
right
talking
now,
about...
I
We are not talking
I
about
want
championships right now.
I want merch. I want merch that says, I am the authority.
You will create no merch. There will be no merch.
My face, with 2 fingers up, with rings on each of them.
There will be no merch.
I possess 2.
There will be no merch.
0.
There will be no merch.
I will, out of my own money.
You can make your own merch.
I will make my own merch.
You make your own merch. But Sean... I wanted to...
People across the globe right now are turning the dial down in their car.
Well, I think who knows where this ended up when we were at the peak of yelling. But according to the mic, we're still good. But regardless...
All right, finish up
regardless.
The story so I can...
Regardless. I told Sean I had no interest in his players. He did not have a good enough guy to upgrade my running back position, which is what I was looking for at the time. Upgrade my running back position to be trading Drew Brees off. With that being said... I told Sean, if we had a conversation in your room that took place that said, would you take Drew Brees for D Singletary straight up? There was no interest in my end for this. We were just having a discussion. Sean said, and I quote, D Singletary is off limits.
I think I said off the table.
Regardless. Sean was protecting a middle-of-the-road running back.
Correct. And I stand by it to this day.
Because he's an idiot.
No.
If you look at straight...
Am I the idiot?
Yeah, if you look at straight numbers, your backup running back, in comparison to D. Singletary, may have lost you 5 points per game.
Correct.
And Drew Brees was going to get you possibly 15 to 20 more points per game than Goff. You were getting an upgrade of 10 to 15 points per game by this trade, and you say it was off the table because you're an idiot, and you're like, I can't...
I'm not an idiot. I understand how to win championships in this league.
By taking less points?
That is not
specific numbers.
Let me allow me to
here we go.
I gave you your opportunity.
There is no option for you to say that you win this.
I'm going to tell you how I win this right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
You ready?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, here we go. In this league, the only way that you're going to win this game, win the title, is if you have quality running backs. I had a guy.
This is nonsense.
No, put your microphone
This is
down.
nonsense. This is nonsense.
Son of a bee.
This is nonsense.
You have to have a quality running back. D. Singletary was not a quality running back. However, he was showing signs that he might be. I had to hold on to him in the event that he became good. You, on the other hand, were trying to sell off elite quarterbacks at their market value.
Of course.
I understand that. But in this league, that is an unrealistic expectation.
No, it's not.
No, it is an unrealistic expectation.
Incorrect.
Because nobody in a 14-team league has any depth whatsoever to compensate you for what you had was the number 2 quarterback in the league. You cannot get that value in return.
Okay.
So, by strictly numbers, you had the better player than I. However, in building a championship caliber franchise, which historically I am,
no, you did twice
were
in 2 decades.
Me a trade. That's true. You were proposing me a trade that would not have fed into a championship caliber.
Yes,
team.
it would have. It would have made your team better.
But it made it.
I don't even.
Can we get a gif of that?
No. I don't understand.
No. I'm not done with my thought.
You're done now.
I'm not done with my thought. You would have made my team better, but you would have capped off my ability to ascend to championship level.
Incorrect.
No, correct.
Incorrect.
Correct.
Drew Brees had the ability to score 40 to 50 points in a game. D. Singletary maxed out at 15.
I agree with that. But
so you'd be ascending further. You have more potential.
You are giving me a quick spike as opposed to a steady burn to the top.
You have 3 games left. You don't need steady burn.
I have 2 titles.
Oh,
you
so that's when you go back. That's when you know.
0
So you guys
titles.
know that is when you know I'm correct.
No,
when he goes to the title game.
No,
because I am correct.
No, you are wrong.
You have 0. What you're saying about the trading is 100% correct. It was a
Thank
misstep
you.
by me.
Correct.
It was a misstep by me.
Yes,
there is not enough depth in the league to be able to. I didn't want par value, so you're aware. I didn't think I would be able to get an RB1 for Drew Brees. What I wanted to do was upgrade my team. I was not discussing that. That was not the argument we had here. The argument we were having here is that it was ludicrous. I don't even know if there's a word. I wish I had
It ended up being
It was ludicrous at the time.
No.
I wish I had a thesaurus.
No, that was
It is ludicrous. It is every word in the book, but anything negative on
all
your
negative
end,
thoughts.
To believe that D. Singletary, and that's not even that you turned down the trade and said, I don't think that works for me. I want to roll the dice with D. Singletary, who isn't even a starting running back in this league.
He was at the time. He was at the time.
It's ludicrous that you would have even done that. You escalate the ludicrous amount to not even considering, saying it's not even worth my time to think about it. When Drew Brees was a premier quarterback in the league, you had a middle of the road back end RB, not even on the
You're
not
correct.
even on a
Correct.
bad Buffalo team. You had a terrible. It was outrageous to think
They weren't bad.
if the reverse would have happened. I'm pretty sure, and I've polled other teams just so you're aware.
Oh, I'm sure. Fantasy football experts.
Anyone takes that trade. One for one, and it's not even close. You had the ability to have 20 plus, 30 plus points per game on Drew Brees be held on D. Singletary because you said that, do the fantasy gods know you don't have a good running back, so now Drew Brees sucks now? You can't argue the numbers. And the numbers say that you had a much more favorable trade by taking Drew Brees than D. Singletary.
I am not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
You just disagreed with
No,
that.
what I'm disagreeing with the fact is how you build a championship team.
The championship team is to get as many points as you can. That's how you build a championship team. And you had an ability to score more points with Drew Brees, and you chose not to. It was such a ludicrous trade that I wouldn't even consider it on my end.
As the person who sucks.
As a person who had it just sitting on his bench, D. Singletary wasn't even close to value to have a guy get rid of a guy off my bench.
I disagree. That's all I can say.
Because it is ludicrous. I don't even know how you even make the comparison and make the ability to disagree with the sheer numbers. There is no disagreeing here. The numbers say,
I think there is disagreeing here.
The numbers say that you're wrong.
After the fact, I agree that I was wrong.
During the fact as well. During the fact, fact as well.
After
It's
the
ridiculous.
fact, D. Singletary did not pan out.
During the fact, he wasn't good enough to
But
do
it
that.
looked like he might.
No, it didn't look like that.
Yes, it did.
No, he had a couple good games.
There was upward trajectory.
No, Drew Brees was already amazing.
Well, the next year he sucked.
He did suck. He was pretty bad. But let's move on. Let's move on to the final topic of the day. We want to do some picks here.
Okay.
I want to see. Let me bring up the odds if I can here. Let's go talk. Well, WVU will end with their odds. Let's see. Vegas odds. We should have done this research ahead of time.
It's okay. This is still the test run episode.
Yes, Vegas odds. College football. I'm sure they'll just bring up the most recent football. But let's just type it in because I have time. Week 2. All right. Let's do some. We're gonna do a couple picks. End with football. Let's go to. Well, let's not gonna say what we're gonna do because this is gonna be one of our advertisements later on. So we won't say that I'm not using them. But let's see here. Jeez, you're nauseating. You know that?
No.
Yeah, you do. All right. Football.
Let's see who we're gonna pick.
Oh, this is already football. Do they not have college football? Can you not ban college football? You can ban college football.
You can. I was looking at odds earlier and I had a hard time finding them.
Also, maybe it is a little bit more difficult.
Let's just go on ESPN. I'm on ESPN right now. How about I
Yeah,
call
they
some games
usually
out?
bring up. Yeah. Just bring up like.
I don't have odds though.
They don't have
Oh,
odds.
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
They
They're right
usually
here.
they've been putting them
Yeah,
up.
they're right here. Okay. Let's
We'll end with West Virginia,
I'll
obviously.
I'll put a couple ones that stand out to me.
And let's do. Obviously, let's do. Is it called money line? Is it called whatever the over under is? Not over under.
I'll do the line. I'll
The
just
line,
Say,
yeah.
I'll say the line. Who's favorite? Okay, here we go. First game. ESPN 2, Friday night. Kansas, 1-0 Kansas.
Okay.
First win since 2019, last year. Stormed the field against an FCS school.
Okay.
They travel to the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina, number 22 in the country. Coastal Carolina is a 25-point favorite. Can Kansas ride the momentum?
Coastal Carolina.
Les Miles is gone, if you didn't already know that.
I didn't know that. Coastal Carolina had a really good win last week. I saw their score. They beat up on whoever they played. I think it was a bullshit team, but they beat up on whoever they played.
They beat the Citadel 52-14.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kansas doesn't cover.
No.
I'm gonna say because Kansas is historically bad.
Kansas blows.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kansas doesn't cover. You agree with me on that?
I think Coastal Carolina is going to beat the shit out of this.
Okay. All right.
Oregon, the Ducks, number 11, Oregon, Saturday at noon, travel to Columbus to take on number 4, Ohio State Buckeyes, 14.5-point favorite for the home team.
Yeah, they were talking about this game a lot last week because they were saying that Oregon might overlook their opponent, who was Fresno State, I believe, last week.
They did not.
They did not.
They throttled them.
They beat them, but Fresno State gave up a decent fight, from what I think what I heard. What was this? Do you have the final there?
31-24.
So they did, yeah, exactly. So but they said Fresno State was a good program this year.
New quarterback in for the Buckeyes.
Okay. I thought someone got hurt for Oregon.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's say what was it? 14.5?
14.5 favorite for the Buckeyes.
For the Buckeyes, and they're in Columbus.
Over underline at 63.
So they're expecting a big scoring game.
Yes.
I think Ohio State wins by over 2 touchdowns. So I think Ohio State covers.
I think Ohio State. I don't think Oregon coming east.
Yeah.
That's a big time zone gap. They don't play a lot of games out east. I think they'll have trouble.
I'm sure they're
with
there
that.
a couple days ahead of time.
No.
Okay.
I talked to the coach.
Okay. Sean talked to the coach. Insider now.
Okay. Here we go. Notre Dame.
Okay.
Notre Dame is hosting Toledo. Notre Dame won a lucky squeaker on the road against Florida State last week. They're number 9 in the country. Their coach, I don't know if you saw this,
I did.
said that he wants to execute his entire team.
Yes.
Will his team respond to the executioning threats as they host Toledo as a 16.5-point favorite?
Yes, I think Notre Dame covers that with ease.
Okay. Mercer on the road in Tuscaloosa.
I was going to say, why are we doing a Mercer game?
Mercer on the road in Tuscaloosa. Vegas does not even feel it appropriate to give odds on this game.
I can imagine. It's unfortunate.
Okay, Patrick's not even going to try to guess it. We know who's going to win that game.
Yes.
Iowa, number 18, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, ABC. Traveling just down the road to Ames, hosting College Game Day. Iowa State, number 7 versus 18 Iowa. Big rivalry game.
That's a big
4.5-point favorite for the Iowa State Cyclones. Who you got?
Big 10 versus Big 12 here. Iowa is a good, hard-nosed program. Hard-nosed.
What a program.
What a program. And who's the favorite? Iowa State?
Iowa State is a 4.5-point favorite.
This is essentially just picking who wins the game, unless they win by
Correct.
a field goal. So I'm saying I'm sticking with the Big 12, with West Virginia's Big 12 team. I'm sticking with the Iowa State. They're home, right?
Home.
They're home. They're hosting College Game
Maybe
Day.
I actually think they've never hosted College Game Day before.
Big environment. A lot of people talking about this week on campus. A lot of fun.
Patrick has been on campus
I've
in
been
Iowa
on
State,
campus.
and he
I'm
knows
boots on the
that at
ground.
the local five and dines, they're
Oh.
all talking about this game.
I bet you they are.
I guarantee they
Yeah.
are.
So big game. I think Iowa State beats them by over a touchdown.
I'm going to agree with you. The experience, they have 2 top 10 players in college football on Iowa State.
Yeah.
The running back, the quarterback.
They're winning.
They're going to win.
They're winning.
Texas, 21, game number 2 under Steve Sarkisian. They're traveling to the SEC country, going down to Fayetteville to play Arkansas. Unranked Arkansas versus number 21 Texas. Texas is a 6.5-point road favorite. Who you got?
That's tough. I don't have a ton of faith in Texas. As a Big 12 guy, I'd prefer to pick a Texas team here. Arkansas, I don't know what kind of program they are right now and what kind of team they're putting together, but at home.
Let's see what Arkansas did last week. Arkansas is 1-0. They played, as we load here, they played Rice and won 38-17.
Ooh.
Texas, I believe, won convincingly in a difficult game. I do believe that they played a challenging team. A non-cupcake. Let me look. I'm pulling it up.
I think you're right.
I know there was a lot of chatter about it. They played UL, University of Louisiana Lafayette, which is a very good program.
Yes.
They won 38-18. That's a good win.
Yeah, I think Texas goes on the road and wins. I think they go on the road and win. I think it's a close game.
I don't know
think
enough
they'll
about Arkansas to pick them over Texas. I'm going to go Arkansas as well.
win. You can go Texas.
I'm going to go Texas as well. Got a good one here. Here we go. Number 20, Washington. On the road in the Big House, Ann Arbor taking on the Michigan Wolverines. 1-0 Michigan versus 0-1 Washington. Number 20, who took an L at home last week to the Grizzlies of Montana. Montana, I will say, is a quality program. They should not be beating a top 25 team. This was like the 5th time that's happened in the last 20 years. Michigan is a 6.5-point favorite. Michigan, if I remember correctly, throttled Western Michigan last week.
Michigan wins in the big house. In the Big House.
Jim Harbaugh, that would be a great win and a devastating loss for a top 25 team
to go 0-2.
And they're talking to there's some articles out on ESPN today about the
I think Jim Harbaugh, although Jim Harbaugh has historically not been very good in big games at Michigan, he hasn't been very good in any games in Michigan. But in the Big House, they're one. Oh, because Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But they're 1-0 in the Big House. I think Michigan takes. It's only a 6.5. They win by a touchdown.
Last call of the day, the Sharks of Long Island University, the mighty Sharks, who have lost their coach in their 2nd year of being a college football program, travel down to Morgantown, West Virginia, to take on Jarrett Dagey. I hate that I said it.
Yes, please.
Jarrett Dagey.
I know. I need a new player.
Neil Brown and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Vegas has also opted to not put a spread on this game, to the best of my searching abilities.
Okay.
Give me a prediction. Give me a. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Are we going to see Jarrett Dagey for 4 quarters? Are we going to see Garrett Green? Are we going to see the other guy?
my prediction.
I forget his name.
My prediction is we'll see Jarrett Dagey for 4 quarters. I don't think they're going to take him out of the game. LIU. I think they're going to.
Are you saying you're not going to see Garrett Green or the other guy?
I think we'll see Garrett Green.
Didn't
we see Garrett Green last year?
Yeah, but are you going to say he's going to be a blowout sighting, or is it going to be?
I think he'll be mixed into a Wildcat. I don't.
Okay.
I have no faith in Neil Brown right now. In the last 3 years, we've seen this idiot go out of the field under center.
Fair enough.
I'm not seeing a change now.
Fair enough.
Although you did say he was getting heat recently.
Yes.
But I say Jarrett Dagey's out there. I see Jarrett Dagey. I think he doesn't have a trouble with LIU. I think we handle them. I think let's say here our defense is very good, so I think LIU has a really tough time scoring on us. I do think that we're sometimes undisciplined on defense, though, so I think maybe we take some chances that may burn us. But I say we win in convincing fashion, 42-14.
I think we're gonna run over them. I think we're gonna crush them. I think Jarrett Dagey's gonna play terrible in the first quarter, and he's gonna get pulled for Garrett Green, who's gonna come into the game, be solid, but miss a lot of good opportunities, like open receivers down the field. He's just going to be rusty. He's not going to have that touch. Probably going to win, I'm going to say, like 31-10, but very easily could have been a 60-point win if we were able to hit the receivers on their open shots, and if he was a little sharper in the pocket.
So this is where you think of Jarrett Dager, and you think he's going to struggle against an LIU team.
I think Jarrett Dager is going to be in his feelings. If he possesses a cellular device, I was on his Instagram the other day. The comments were limited. He limited the comments on his last Instagram post. The final comment on there was, "You suck, bro." Okay? And so he knows this is happening. He's feeling it walking around town right now as he walks through the Morgantown campus. People are snickering at him as he's walking through the student center. He's in his head. He's going to come out. He's going to try to play safe. He's going to try to play not to lose. He's going to suck. They're going to boo him from the stands because West Virginia fans are relentless. Garrett Green is going to come into the game, be okay, miss some easy shots, but be serviceable. And we're going to see Garrett Green a lot going forward. That's my guarantee.
Well, that's your guarantee, not prediction.
That's my call.
All
back
right.
off that.
Well, there you go. There you have it, guys. We have West Virginia. Both of us have West Virginia winning.
31-10 is my call.
I got 42-14. I think you're right. Those are the picks for this week, guys. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Enjoy your weekend, and until next time, we will see you at the bar.
See you guys.
Well, actually, no. Sean won't see you at the bar.
I
You'll
will
almost never see him at the bar.
I literally never leave my bedroom.
But then he'll see me. So yeah.
And you can talk about me.
We can talk about Sean. Pretend he's there. So until next time, guys. I'll see you at the bar.
Adios.